Have you ever found yourself staring at the clock, wondering how to fill the hours after retirement? Or maybe you felt that twinge of frustration when you walk into a room and forget why you're there. Trust me, you're not alone. My Uncle Jim used to joke that retirement felt like a never-ending weekend, until he discovered a few creative hobbies that turned his days into adventures. Today we're talking about 5 creative hobbies that keep your mind sharp, your heart light, and your calendar joyfully full. These aren't just time fillers, they're brain-boosting, soul-nourishing activities that'll make you wonder why you didn't start sooner. Let's dig into the first one, which might just get your hands a little dirty, in the best way. Hobby number 1. Gardening, your green thumb therapy. You don't need a sprawling backyard to reap the benefits of gardening. Whether it's a windowsill herb garden or a patio full of flowers, tending to plants is like a workout for your brain and your senses. Planning layouts, learning about soil, and even troubleshooting pesky aphids keep your problem-solving skills sharp. Plus, there's nothing like the pride of biting into a tomato you grew yourself. My neighbor Helen started with a single succulent after retiring. Now she's the plant lady of her street, trading cuttings and tips with everyone. It's my daily dose of zen, she says. Studies back this up. Gardening reduces stress and improves memory. How to start? Grab a small pot, soil, and seeds. Basil or marigolds are foolproof. Join a local gardening club or Facebook group for tips and camaraderie. Try a gardening journal to track growth and jot down lessons. Next up, hobby number 2, watercolor painting. No artist required. If you're thinking, but I can't even draw a stick figure. I've been there. Watercolor isn't about perfection, it's about play. The blend of colors on paper can be surprisingly meditative, and the focus required? It's like a treadmill for your brain. Start with a beginner's set under $20. And YouTube tutorials. My friend Bob, a retired engineer, paints quirky birds every morning. They look more like potatoes with wings, he laughs. But who cares? It's my happy time. Pro tip: paint what you love. A grandchild's smile, your morning coffee cup, or even abstract swirls. The goal is to lose track of time, not win awards. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these speaks to your soul? Are you itching to get your hands in the soil, or does the idea of a paintbrush make your heart skip? Share in the comments. And if you've already tried these, tell us your secrets. But wait, we're just warming up. In the next part, we'll explore hobbies that connect you with others and spark new skills. Think less solo mission, more community adventure. So grab your gardening gloves or that paintbrush you've been eyeing, and let's keep growing. Last time we dug into gardening and painting. How's that basil plant coming along? I've loved reading your stories, especially from Martha, who said her windowsill herbs are thriving faster than her grandkids. Today, let's explore 2 more hobbies that weave creativity into everyday moments. First up, a hobby that lets you time travel with words. Hobby number 3, journaling and storytelling, your life, your legacy. You don't need to be Hemingway to put pen to paper. Journaling is like a conversation with your past and future self. Write about your morning walk, a childhood memory, or even a fictional tale. It's your world. My friend Ed, a retired mechanic, started jotting down his car repair adventures. Now, his grandkids beg him to read stories about the time he outsmarted a stubborn carburetor. How to start? Grab any notebook, or splurge on one with a cover that makes you smile. Use prompts. What's the funniest thing that happened this week? Or, describe your first job. Try a gratitude journal. Listing 3 good things daily can boost mood and mental clarity. And if writing feels daunting, record voice memos on your phone. My Aunt Ruth narrates her grocery lists like radio dramas. Milk, eggs, and a cameo by the cranky cashier. Hobby number 4, knitting and crafting. Stitch your stress away. Knitting isn't just for sweaters, it's a rhythm for your hands and a balm for your brain. The repetitive motion lowers stress, while following patterns sharpens focus. Plus, you end up with cozy gifts or a closet full of scarves. No judgment. My neighbor, Clara, taught herself via YouTube after retiring. My first scarf looked like a noodle catastrophe, she laughs. Now I knit hats for preemies at the hospital. Beginner-friendly ideas. Start with chunky yarn and big needles, less fiddling. Join a local crafting group. Libraries and cafes often host stitch and sip nights. Try upcycling. Turn old shirts into quilts or mason jars into lanterns. Now here's a secret. Perfection is overrated. Missed a stitch? Call it texture. Smudged ink? Artistic flair. The joy is in the doing, not the diploma. And if you're thinking, but I'm all thumbs. So was I. My first journal entry was 3 words, Rainy. Nap. Now I fill pages like a caffeine-fueled poet. Up next, we'll unveil the final hobby, a showstopper that blends creativity, community, and maybe a little magic. Until then, grab those needles or that pen, and let's make today a masterpiece. Welcome back. If you've been following along, your retirement calendar is probably filling up with gardens to tend, canvases to paint, and stories to tell. But we've saved the most versatile hobby for last. One that lets you capture the world through your eyes and share it with everyone you love. Let's dive in. Hobby number 5. Photography, your lens on life's beauty. You don't need a fancy camera or Instagram fame to fall in love with photography. Whether you're using a smartphone or a vintage film camera, this hobby trains you to notice details. The way light dances on a teacup, the crinkles of a grandchild's laugh, or the quiet drama of a sunset. It's mindfulness with a click. My buddy Frank, a retired mailman, started snapping pics of his daily walks. Rusty gates, stray cats, blooming weeds. Now I see magic in ordinary things, he says. His junk drawer photos became a gallery show at the local library. How to start? Use what you have. Your phone's camera is perfect. Play with free editing apps like Snapseed or Canva to add filters or text. Join a photo challenge. #weekly theme or #seasons in focus on social media. Pro tip: create a photo journal. Print your favorites and jot down the stories behind them. My Aunt Marge's album, Tuesday Treasures, is now a family heirloom. Now let's tie this all together. You've got gardening to ground you, painting to unleash your inner artist, journaling to preserve your voice, crafting to stitch joy into every day, and photography to freeze time's fleeting moments. These aren't just hobbies, they're invitations to live fully, curiously, and boldly. My Uncle Jim, the never-ending weekend retiree? He's now a gardening, painting, storytelling, scarf knitting, photo snapping dynamo. I'm busier and happier than I was at 40. He boasts. Your turn. Pick one hobby that sparks your curiosity. Start small. Burn the cookies, knit a lopsided scarf, write a 3-line poem. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. And remember, every stitch, brushstroke, and snapshot is a celebration of you. Aging isn't about slowing down, it's about embracing new ways to shine. So, which hobby will you try first? Share in the comments. Your journey might inspire someone else to pick up a paintbrush or plant a seed. If this series brought you even one aha moment, hit that like button and subscribe. We're here to help you make every chapter of life your most colorful yet. Here's to your next adventure. May it be messy, joyful, and uniquely yours. Thanks for watching and keep creating.